Hey, it's Lauren from Radioworld, and in this video, we're going to be talking about our Radioworld Power Harness. This power harness is designed to get the best performance out of your electronics possible by delivering the cleanest power to them. And that's basically the reason people upgrade to larger gauge wire than what comes factory in their boats, is just to get that power to them. And that's what this harness will do for you. In this video, what I want to do is go over what it takes to install one of these, just so you can get an idea of the scope of work, so you can see if it's something you want to tackle yourself as a DIYer or have someone do it for you. So let's get into it and I'll show you what you need to do. So first thing you're going to want to do is run it the length of the boat. Now the single wire will be at the front, you'll have the two heat shrink butt connectors at the console, and then you're going to have the dual wires going into the one terminal rings at the back of the boat. So you just want to make sure that on the deck of the boat, everything's going to lay out okay. You're not going to have any issues that way. Also going to want to check for access points in the boat, especially under the console. That is typically one of the harder spots to access. And you're just going to want to see where you can run those wires to easily make the connections to the power cables on your sonar unit. The next step will be at the bow of the boat. You'll remove the bow panel to gain access to any tubes that we can fish the wires down through to the console and then eventually to the rear of the boat. When we start to fish the cable through, we're going to start with the portion that's going to end up at the rear, and we're going to feed it through to the front of the boat. This is typically the way I like to do these. You could feed it the other way. However, this is definitely going to be the easiest and least resistance on the harness, as it is designed to go this way. The way I like to fish it through is with a fish rod rather than a fish tape. Fish tape will work as well, but a fish rod is typically best. And I like to use packing tape to secure the wires on the harness to the fish rod. I found this to be one of the best methods of never letting go and never causing any problems when you're halfway through the boat and you get jammed up. Another thing you can do here is use some cable lubricant to make that slide through any tight passages easier. So you can go ahead then and insert the assembly down and start to fish that through. And you definitely going to want to have two people on this. You know, you may have to do a little push and pull at certain points. Once you get it through, you're going to want to have about 2 feet of the harness exposed, and then you're going to want to secure that somehow, so if when you're pulling the rest of it through at the back end, you don't accidentally pull that through and lose it in the boat. If you have a rod lock or a storage compartment, you may be able to gain access to feed the rest of the harness through towards the back of the boat. And you're going to want to take note of the console lead, obviously not to push that too far beyond the console where we have to make our connections. So you can see we've removed the console plate, we've got our wires in there. We can go ahead and make the connections to our existing power cables. In this case here, we want to leave the factory fuses intact. These are step-down butt connectors that will allow you to go from the 8 gauge to the standard gauge of wire that's on a power cable, and you'll be able to put 2 of those in there. If you're not able to fish it all the way up, just due to the length of it, you can fish your power wires down and then make the connection somewhere under the dash as well. You can return to the bow panel now and go ahead and hook up all of the electronics to the Blue Sea fuse panel that's included. As you can see, there's 6 ports on it. The fuses are on the positive side, and then just the lugs without fuses is where your negatives are going to be. There is no order that this needs to go in. You can do it however you want, whatever is most convenient. If you're using 3 items like we are, we chose to go off of one side of it, and just makes the install a little bit cleaner. So we'll supply you with the fuses you need. You just want to refer to the sheet that comes with the harness to ensure you get the correct ones. Once those are installed, the cover's back on, you can go ahead and clean all this up and secure the fuse panel in the compartment up here. We'll go to the rear of the boat now, start to assemble the switch and jumper assembly. What you're going to want to do is get the negative lead on the harness close to the battery as possible. With that jumper and switch, the positive we can extend a little bit so we have a little bit more play there. When we come back up here to the switch, we're going to connect the jumper to the input side and the harness to the output side. The other end of the jumper will then be connected to the positive on the battery. So next you'll have to find a mounting location for the switch. There's a few different options on that. You can use what's included with it. You may also have to fabricate a bracket in order to attach that to the boat. So the final step is just verifying that everything is working properly and you're getting pretty well next to no voltage drop to your electronics. I would say 0.2 volts is probably acceptable. In most cases, it's less than that. And to verify there is no voltage drop, you'd obviously just check the battery as well with a multimeter to see what reading you're getting there. So that's what's involved in installing one of these Radioworld power harnesses. It is a DIY project. I'd recommend having 2 people to do it. It will make your life a lot easier. And there's not a lot of expensive or special tools that you need. Chances are you'll have most stuff already that you'll need to install this harness. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any other questions about this Radioworld Power Harness or any of the power harnesses we sell, we also sell the SeaClear products. There'll be links in the description where you can purchase those if you're in Canada.